The stars stretched endlessly above the small human outpost on the planet Virelia 7. It was a quiet world, far from the busy trade routes of the Galactic Alliance, where humans maintained a small research station to study the strange energy readings the planet emitted. Among the team of scientists and engineers was Captain Elena Maris, a woman known for her calm mind and quick thinking. She had faced many challenges in the deep reaches of space, but nothing prepared her for the signal that came one cold morning. It began as a faint pattern on the station's sensors. At first it seemed like a normal cosmic disturbance, just another anomaly in the planet's unstable atmosphere. But Elena noticed something strange. The signal wasn't random, it had structure. It pulsed in a pattern almost like a message. She leaned over the console, her brow furrowed. "Dr. Havel, look at this," she said to the station's communications officer. "This isn't just interference. It's repeating. I think someone or something is trying to contact us." Dr. Havel adjusted the sensor arrays and widened the frequency range. "Captain, you might be right. The pattern is consistent, almost like Morse code, but not entirely. I've never seen anything like it," Elena's mind raced. Contact with alien intelligence was always a possibility in the outer systems, but it was also dangerous. Virelia 7 had harsh storms, magnetic interference, and strange creatures that roamed its surface. But if someone or something was calling for help, ignoring it wasn't an option. The decision was made. A small reconnaissance team, led by Elena, would land near the source of the signal. The ship they used, the Starward Pioneer, was equipped for rough planetary conditions. The team included 2 engineers, a medic, and a security officer. Everyone was tense as the shuttle dropped through the thick violet clouds of Virelia 7. The signal led them to a narrow valley, jagged rocks surrounding a small clearing. The valley seemed empty, silent except for the occasional gust of wind. But then faint movement caught Elena's eye. She pointed toward the rocks. "Over there. Someone or something is hiding." The team advanced carefully. The signal grew stronger, guiding them deeper into the valley. And then they saw her, a small figure crouched behind a boulder, shivering and trembling. At first, Elena thought it was a child of some local species, but as they approached, she realized this was no ordinary creature. The figure had delicate limbs, shimmering skin that reflected the dim light, and eyes larger than any human's, glowing softly with fear. She was an alien. The alien girl's voice trembled as she spoke. "Please and help me," she said in broken galactic basic. They will find me." Elena motioned for the team to pause. "Who will find you? What happened?" The girl's eyes darted around nervously. "Robots, machines. They took my people. I ran. I hide. Please help." Elena's heart clenched. She had faced pirates, mercenaries, and wild creatures in her time. But fear in a living, intelligent being was different. She knelt a safe distance from the girl. "We are humans. We won't hurt you. Can you come with us?" The girl hesitated, then nodded. She moved slowly, carefully, keeping her gaze on the shadows. Elena's team scanned the area. The valley was eerily quiet, but they could feel the tension. Something was watching. The journey back to the shuttle wasn't easy. Rocks shifted underfoot and strange creatures scuttled away at the noise. At one point, Elena caught movement out of the corner of her eye, a metallic glint among the rocks. The girl froze, huddling closer. They follow," she whispered. The team picked up speed, reaching the shuttle with the alien girl in tow. As the engines roared to life, they glimpsed the dark shapes emerging from the valley. They weren't living creatures, they were machines, sleek and dangerous, moving with precision. They had been sent to capture her. Elena ordered the shuttle into a sharp ascent, weaving through the rocky cliffs. The machines followed, firing beams of energy that scorched the rocks around them. The shuttle shook violently. Sparks flew across the control panels, and Dr. Havel shouted over the alarms. "Captain, we can't outrun them for long. They're faster than we are." Elena's mind raced. She had to think fast. She glanced at the alien girl, who was clutching a small device that seemed to pulse with energy. The girl's hands shook, but there was determination in her eyes. "Can you use that?" Elena asked. The girl nodded, pressing a sequence of buttons. The device emitted a bright, resonating pulse. The pursuing machines faltered, their energy fields flickering. Elena seized the opportunity and pushed the shuttle into a sharp dive, disappearing into the clouds. Once they were safe in orbit, the girl collapsed, exhausted. Elena gently helped her to a seat. "You're safe now," she said. "We'll figure this out together." The girl looked at Elena with wide eyes. Why help me? Humans, strong. Why help me?" Elena smiled softly. "Because it's the right thing to do. And because every being deserves a chance to live freely." The shuttle returned to the outpost where the team prepared a secure chamber for the girl. As she rested, Elena and Dr. Havel examined the device she had used to disable the machines. It was unlike any technology they had seen, organic yet mechanical, blending both forms seamlessly. "This technology could change everything," Dr. Havel said. "If we study it, we might understand her people, and maybe even prevent the machines from capturing anyone else." Elena nodded, but her mind kept returning to the girl. She didn't know her name, where she came from, or what her species wanted. All she knew was that the girl had trusted them, and that trust came with responsibility. That night, Elena watched the stars from the outpost's observation deck. The universe was vast, filled with dangers and mysteries, but also with opportunities. Humanity had reached this far because of courage, ingenuity, and compassion. And now, in helping this alien girl, they had a chance to show the universe that humans could be allies, protectors, and friends even to those from the farthest corners of space. Somewhere far away, hidden among the planets and stars, others were watching. The machines that had chased the girl were only part of a larger threat, a force that didn't understand compassion, only control. Elena didn't know it yet, but this encounter would mark the beginning of a journey that could test humanity's greatest strengths and its deepest values. As the girl slept, Elena whispered, "We'll help you. Together we'll make sure no one ever hurts you again." The first part of the story ends here, with tension, mystery, and hope, setting the stage for the next parts where humans and the alien girl will face greater dangers, learn about each other's worlds, and showcase humanity's ingenuity. The next morning, the outpost was alive with activity. Elena moved through the corridors with purpose, her boots clicking against the metallic floor. The alien girl, who had finally introduced herself as Lyra, was resting in a secure chamber monitored by the station's medical team. Her fragile frame and luminous skin made her appear delicate, but Elena sensed a quiet strength in her eyes. "Captain," Dr. Havel called as she entered the lab, "I've analyzed the device Lyra used. It's remarkable. The energy pulse she produced disrupted the machine's core circuits. I've never seen technology like this. It's part mechanical, part organic, almost like it's alive." Elena leaned over the console. "Can we learn how to use it ourselves? Or is it too advanced?" "Too advanced for now," Dr. Havel replied. "But if we study it carefully, we might understand it. And more importantly, we could help Lyra protect her people." Meanwhile, Lyra awoke. Her eyes glowed softly as she observed the humans moving around. She looked curious yet cautious. Elena knelt beside her. "Good morning, Lyra," she said. "How are you feeling?" Lyra hesitated, then spoke in broken basic. Better, thank you." "Humans, help me," Elena smiled. "We're glad to help. But we need to know more. Who sent those machines after you? And where is your home?" Lyra's hands trembled as she recalled the memories. My people live on a planet beyond the Dark Nebula. Name is Celestra." "The machines? They were sent by the Enforcers. They capture anyone who tries to escape." "The Enforcers?" Elena asked. The term sounded ominous. Lyra nodded slowly. "They control my world. Machines take free beings. Never let go. We try to hide. Some escape. Like me," Elena's mind raced. "Then your people are being oppressed. We need to help, but first we must understand the machines and their weaknesses." Dr. Havel joined them. "I think Lyra's device could give us a clue. Its energy pattern disrupted the Enforcer's machines. If we can study it, we might be able to build defenses, or even disable the machines entirely." Lyra's eyes brightened. Yes. Device, protect my people and not let them capture." Elena nodded. "We'll do everything we can. But first we need to learn more about Celestra and the Enforcers. Are you ready to tell us?" Lyra hesitated, then slowly began. "Celestra, beautiful. Ocean, forests, cities, shining towers. My people, peaceful, love nature, study stars. But Enforcers arrive. Machines take Destroy many, we hide. Small groups, secret, safe places. Elena listened carefully. She knew that understanding Lyra's world was key to helping her and possibly saving her people. Then our first step is to track the machines. If we can find their base, maybe we can stop them from harming others. Over the next several hours, the team worked together. They scanned the valley for traces of the Enforcer's technology. Every sensor reading, every energy signature was carefully noted. Lyra guided them with her knowledge, pointing out patterns only someone from Celestra could recognize. This path, hidden canyon, machines cannot enter, safe, leads to old observatory. Watch stars. See distance, Lyra explained. Elena examined the map of the planet. The hidden canyon Lyra described was risky to reach. It was surrounded by jagged cliffs and storms frequently swept through the region. But if it offered a vantage point and a clue to the Enforcer's movements, it was worth the risk. The team prepared an expedition. Elena, Dr. Havel, Lyra, and 2 engineers would travel to the canyon. The shuttle could not reach the exact location because of the cliffs, so they packed all necessary supplies for a treacherous trek on foot. Lyra carried her device, keeping it close, while Elena made sure the team was prepared for anything. As they began the journey, the alien girl stayed close to Elena. Humans. Brave, she said softly. I trust you, Elena smiled. And I trust you too, Lyra. Together we'll find a way to help your people. The climb was difficult. The rocky paths twisted steeply, and strong winds threatened to push them off the narrow trails. Lyra's knowledge of the terrain helped them avoid natural traps and hidden dangers. Along the way, the humans noticed strange flora that glowed faintly in the dim light. Some plants seemed almost sentient, shifting slightly when they approached. Lyra explained they were native to Virelia 7, harmless but sensitive to movement and energy. As they neared the canyon, Elena's sensors picked up faint mechanical signals. She froze. Machines, she whispered. They're near, Lyra nodded. Yes. Enforcers, patrol. Not all machines. Small group. Cautious. The team moved carefully. Using the shadows of the rocks and Lyra's guidance, they approached a vantage point overlooking the canyon floor. Below them, they could see a group of Enforcers machines, sleek and metallic, patrolling in perfect formation. They were much larger than the ones that had chased Lyra, and they emitted a low hum that vibrated through the rocks. Elena whispered to the team. We need to observe, learn their pattern. No rash moves. For hours they watched. The machines moved in predictable cycles, scanning the area with red sensors, communicating silently with one another. Lyra studied them, pointing out weaknesses. Sensors. Blind spot. Small gap. North. Every third cycle. Can hide. Dr. Havel examined the readings. If we can replicate Lyra's device even partially, we might create a pulse to disable their circuits long enough to move safely, or to rescue others if we find captives. Elena nodded. Good, let's document everything. But we can't linger too long. Storms will arrive by nightfall. As they prepared to leave, the storm hit suddenly. Winds howled, tearing at their cloaks and gear. Rocks tumbled down the cliffs and visibility dropped to almost nothing. Elena shouted instructions, keeping the team together. Lyra clung to her small frame buffeted by the fierce wind. In the chaos, one of the engineers slipped and fell toward the edge of the cliff. Without thinking, Elena lunged, grabbing his arm and pulling him back to safety. Lyra's eyes widened in awe. Humans. Strong. Help. Save. Elena steadied the engineer and nodded. We look out for each other. That's what keeps us alive. They reached the safety of a sheltered cave, damp but protected from the worst of the storm. Inside, they set up portable lights and shared the meager supplies they had. Lyra examined her device, touching it carefully. Need, repair, stronger, can stop. Many machines. Dr. Havel studied the mechanism. It's more complex than anything in our labs. But with time, and with Lyra's guidance, we might replicate its function for defense purposes. As night fell, Elena watched Lyra closely. Despite her exhaustion, the alien girl's eyes shone with determination. Your people. Brave, Lyra whispered. I hope we... Say, many. Elena smiled softly. We will. Humans are capable of many things. Courage, ingenuity, empathy, and it's what makes us strong. And together with you, we'll make a difference. The storm raged outside, but inside the cave, a fragile bond had formed. Humans and alien, working together, learning from one another, facing dangers beyond imagination. The first step toward a larger journey had been taken, and none of them knew how far it would lead, or what challenges awaited in the shadows of the Enforcer's empire. By dawn, the storm subsided. The valley below was littered with debris from the violent winds, but the machines were gone. Elena and her team prepared to continue their journey, stronger and more determined than ever. Lyra stood at the cave's entrance looking toward the horizon. My people, wait, need, help, must, go, fast. Elena placed a hand gently on her shoulder. And we will go. Step by step together, we will stop the Enforcers and give your people a chance to live freely again. With renewed resolve, the team descended from the cliffs, guided by Lyra's knowledge and their own experience. The path ahead was dangerous, full of unknown perils, but the spark of hope burned brightly. Humanity's courage and compassion had reached out across the stars, touching a life far from Earth, and in return, that life offered knowledge, trust, and the chance to make a difference. As the sun rose over the jagged peaks of Viewership 7, Elena looked at Lyra and said, "This is only the beginning. The universe is vast, full of challenges, but together, we are stronger than anything the Enforcers can throw at us." And with that, they stepped forward into the unknown, hearts filled with determination, minds sharpened by curiosity, and spirits united in the promise of hope. The sun had barely risen over the jagged peaks of Viewership 7 when Elena and her team resumed their journey. The valley stretched out before them, twisting between rocky cliffs and shadowed canyons. Lyra moved with confidence, guiding the humans along hidden paths that avoided patrol zones of the Enforcers' machines. Despite her delicate appearance, she was nimble, alert, and highly aware of every movement and sound in their surroundings. "This way," Lyra whispered, pointing toward a narrow canyon partially concealed by overhanging rocks. "Machines. Cannot see here. Safe path. Leads closer to..." "Base," Elena nodded. "Good, stay close. Keep your sensors active." The team advanced cautiously. The canyon was tight, forcing them to move in single file. The walls were smooth and dark, with streaks of luminescent minerals reflecting faintly in the light. It was beautiful in an alien, eerie way, but no one spoke much. They knew danger could be around any corner. After several hours of careful travel, they reached a natural overlook. From here, they could see the Enforcer base in the distance, a sprawling complex of metallic towers, energy fields, and patrol drones moving in a precise pattern. The base seemed almost alive, humming with energy as if it were aware of every movement in its vicinity. Elena crouched behind a rock, surveying the scene through her binocular sensors. "It's larger than I expected. We'll need a plan if we're going to infiltrate it." Dr. Havel examined the energy readings. "The fields around the towers are strong. Any direct approach will trigger alarms immediately. But there's a gap in the north sector. Every 33 seconds, the scanning drones sweep past that area. It's brief, but it's something." Lyra's eyes widened. "Yes, humans. Clever. Gap. Yeah. Can move carefully. Maybe reach central tower. Learn. Stop machines." Elena nodded. "Exactly. We'll move in during the gap, reach the central tower, and see what we can find. Remember, our priority is information and safety. No unnecessary risks." The team prepared. Lyra's device pulsed faintly in her hands, almost as if it were aware of the plan. She adjusted it, ensuring it could emit a small pulse to disrupt sensors if needed. The humans reviewed their own equipment: portable energy shields, climbing gear, and communication devices. As the gap in the patrol cycle approached, they moved swiftly and silently, hugging the shadows. The drones swept past, their red sensors scanning the empty terrain. Elena held her breath as the team sprinted to the next cover point, Lyra leading the way. They reached a rocky outcrop halfway to the base, hidden from view. "We're clear for now," Elena whispered. "Keep moving when the next cycle comes. Dr. Havel, are you ready with the device?" "Yes, Captain," Dr. Havel replied, adjusting the pulse generator they had modified using Lyra's design. Lyra glanced at the humans, her glowing eyes reflecting determination. "We must hurry. Machines detect fast. Careful." The final dash to the base was tense. The ground trembled slightly under the movement of distant machines, and faint hums echoed from the metallic towers. Elena led the team over a series of boulders and cliffs, reaching the base's perimeter. Here the energy field hummed intensely, creating a shimmering barrier between them and the towers. Dr. Havel activated the pulse device. A resonating wave spread through the barrier, and for a brief moment the hum faltered. "Now!" Elena shouted, and the team slipped through the weakened field. They were inside the base. The interior was vast and sterile, lit by cold white lights. Mechanical structures moved silently along conveyor-like tracks, repairing drones or assembling parts. The humans ducked behind machinery, avoiding the occasional patrol drone that hummed along the corridors. Lyra's small stature allowed her to move ahead, scouting paths that were otherwise dangerous. They reached a central chamber, dominated by a massive control console filled with holographic projections of the Enforcer's operations. Elena studied the data streams, coordinates of captured beings, patrol routes, energy sources, and drone control systems. It was more information than she had ever hoped to find. Lyra pointed to a projection. "Machines taking. People send. Celestra, far, cannot escape. We must stop. Free." Elena's mind worked quickly. If we can disable the central control system, even temporarily, it will free anyone being held on Celestra and prevent more machines from capturing them. "Dr. Havel, can we use the device here?" Dr. Havel nodded. "Yes, but it must be precise. One wrong pulse and we could trigger alarms, or worse, destroy the data we need to track their operations." Lyra approached the console. "I know. Pattern, press, sequence, safe, humans. Follow." She guided Dr. Havel's hands over the controls, showing exactly how to integrate the pulse device with the console. Elena stayed alert, keeping an eye on patrols. "Everyone stay ready. One signal and we move." Dr. Havel activated the pulse. A low hum filled the room as energy waves radiated outward, disrupting the control circuits of the base. The machines faltered, lights flickered, and several drones froze mid-motion. Alarms began to sound faintly but did not reach full alert thanks to the brief disruption. "It worked," Lyra whispered, relief shining in her eyes. Elena quickly examined the console. "We've got the data. Now we need to move before they recover. Lyra, lead us to the storage areas. We need to check if any captives can be saved." The team navigated deeper into the base, careful not to trigger any remaining defenses. They found rows of containment units, humanoid figures inside suspended in energy stasis. Lyra gasped as she recognized some of them. "My people," she whispered. "They... alive. We..." Save. Elena nodded. "We'll get them out, carefully." Using the pulse device, they disabled the stasis fields one by one. The captives awoke slowly, disoriented but unharmed. Many looked human-like, but with subtle differences in appearance. Glowing eyes, slender frames, and delicate limbs. Lyra guided them, speaking softly in their native language to calm them. Elena watched, her heart swelling with pride and hope. Humanity's courage, ingenuity, and empathy had brought them this far, and now they could witness the direct impact of their efforts. The captives began moving toward the exit, guided by the humans and Lyra. But the base was not yet fully disabled. The remaining drones began to recover from the disruption. Elena signaled the team. "Time to go. We've done what we can. Everyone follow the path Lyra showed us." The group moved quickly, avoiding patrols as the base returned to partial alert. The pulse device continued to assist, creating brief windows of opportunity. Finally, they reached the exterior, where the energy field shimmered weakly after their interference. Elena activated the shuttle's remote landing system. The small craft descended silently, ready to transport everyone to safety. As the captives boarded, Lyra turned to Elena. "Humans. Brave, clever. Help many." "Thank you," Elena smiled. "You helped too. We couldn't have done this without you." The shuttle lifted off, leaving the Enforcer base behind. Below, the metallic towers hummed and flickered, slowly recovering from the disruption. But the humans and Lyra had achieved their mission. The captives were safe, at least for now. During the flight back to the outpost, Elena reflected on what they had accomplished. Humanity's ingenuity and compassion had reached across the stars, making a difference in lives far from Earth. They had faced danger, uncertainty, and the unknown, yet together, they had triumphed. Lyra sat quietly, looking at the stars through the shuttle window. "My people, free, for now. Humans, good, I trust you." Elena placed a hand on her shoulder. "And we trust you, Lyra. This is only the beginning. The Enforcers won't stop easily, but together, we'll continue to fight. There's more to learn, more to protect and more to discover. Dr. Havel joined them, smiling. Imagine what we can do with this knowledge. If humanity can work with Lyra and her people, we can find ways to strengthen defenses, advance technology, and ensure freedom, not just for them but for anyone threatened by oppression in the galaxy. Elena nodded. Yes, but we must also be careful. The universe is vast, and not all beings will welcome our involvement. We need strategy, courage, and compassion. Those are our greatest strengths. Lyra's eyes glowed softly as she looked at the humans around her. Together, strong, can protect hope. As the shuttle returned to the outpost, the team felt a renewed sense of purpose. They had shown that humanity could make a real difference, even against overwhelming odds. They had faced danger with ingenuity, bravery, and empathy, and had saved lives because of it. The journey ahead would be even more challenging. The Enforcers' forces were vast, their technology advanced, and their control of Celestra powerful. But the spark of hope burned brightly in the hearts of Elena, her team, and Lyra. Together, they could face whatever came next, and humanity's courage and ingenuity would shine as a guiding light across the stars. Back at the outpost, the atmosphere was electric. The rescued captives had been given shelter, food, and medical attention. Lyra moved among them, helping calm their fear and guiding them to safety. But Elena knew the mission was far from over. The Enforcers still controlled the majority of Celestra, and countless others remained in captivity. The next step was clear: a full-scale rescue mission on Lyra's home planet. Captain, Dr. Havel said as she reviewed the data from the Enforcer base. We've mapped the patrol routes and the location of their energy hubs on Celestra. If we coordinate carefully, we can disable key systems without a full-scale confrontation. It will require precise timing and teamwork. Elena studied the holographic map. The Enforcers' control centers were concentrated in the northern sector of Celestra, surrounded by dense forests and energy barriers. We'll need stealth, speed, and ingenuity, she said. Humans have done it before and will do it again. But we can't underestimate them. They'll respond quickly if alerted. Lyra stepped forward. Her glowing eyes reflected determination. I'd know paths. Secret, hide. Machines can reach. Central tower. Disable, open. Prisons. Elena nodded. Good, you'll lead the way. We'll follow your guidance and provide support where needed. Preparations began immediately. The shuttle was fitted with advanced stealth systems, energy pulse devices, and portable shields. The humans trained with Lyra to navigate her planet's terrain, using her knowledge of hidden paths and natural obstacles. After 2 days, the team was ready. The shuttle descended through the violet clouds of Celestra, moving silently toward the northern forests. From above, the planet looked breathtaking. Vast oceans, green forests, and glimmering cities shining under the twin suns. But Elena knew beauty could hide danger, and she remained vigilant. Lyra guided them to a hidden canyon near the Enforcer's northern sector. Machines. Patrol. Slow. Can move quietly. Central tower. Not far. The team moved carefully through dense foliage, Lyra at the front. The forest was alive with alien sounds, chirps, hums, and rustling leaves. Humans were cautious, but Lyra's confidence gave them courage. She pointed out natural cover, areas where machine sensors could be blocked, and even edible plants that could sustain them if necessary. After hours of careful travel, they reached a cliff overlooking the Enforcer Central Tower. The massive structure gleamed in the sunlight, surrounded by smaller towers and patrolling drones. Energy barriers shimmered across the surface, forming nearly impenetrable walls. Elena studied the layout. We need to create a diversion. The pulse device can disrupt their systems briefly, but we must target the correct nodes. Dr. Havel, can you manage it? Yes, Captain, Dr. Havel replied. With Lyra's guidance, we can reach the nodes, disable the barriers, and access the prisons. Timing will be critical. Lyra led them through a hidden gorge, moving silently along narrow ledges that overlooked the facility. The Enforcer's patrols were constant but predictable, another advantage the humans and Lyra could use. When they reached the edge of the facility, Elena whispered, "Positions." Everyone ready? The team nodded. Lyra activated her device, sending a low-frequency pulse that disrupted the nearest security sensors. Lights flickered and the hum of machinery momentarily faltered. Go, Elena commanded. The team moved swiftly. Using the pulse's brief window, they reached the main barrier nodes. Dr. Havel worked with Lyra to replicate the pulse sequence on a larger scale, targeting multiple nodes at once. Energy barriers flickered and collapsed in a wave, creating a path to the central tower. Inside the tower, the team encountered automated defenses, moving drones, energy fields, and intricate locking mechanisms. But humans are adaptable. Using clever tactics, portable shields, and Lyra's knowledge, they avoided detection and advanced deeper into the facility. Finally, they reached the prison section. Rows of containment units held the enslaved inhabitants of Celestra, humanoids with glowing eyes, delicate limbs, and a mixture of fear and hope in their expressions. Lyra's voice trembled with emotion. "My people, alive," she whispered. Elena nodded. "We're getting you out. Stay calm." They worked quickly to disable the energy stasis fields. The pulse device helped neutralize residual power, allowing the captives to awaken safely. Many of them looked disoriented, but Lyra guided them with reassuring words. Once freed, the group began their careful retreat. The enforcers were starting to notice disturbances. Drones moved faster, sensors flickered, and alarms sounded faintly. But Elena remained calm. "Everyone follow the path Lyra showed us. We'll use the forest and the river to cover our retreat. Keep moving and stay quiet." The group advanced through the forest, the freed Celestrians following cautiously. Lyra moved among them, pointing out hidden paths and safe spots. Humans provided shields and carried those who struggled, demonstrating teamwork and compassion. As they reached a wide river, Elena assessed the situation. "We can cross here. The current is strong, but it will hide our energy signatures from the drones." With careful coordination, they guided the group across the river, using floating devices and portable energy shields to prevent accidents. Lyra stayed close to the last of her people, ensuring no one was left behind. The enforcers responded quickly, sending reinforcements, but the humans had planned for this. Using the pulse device strategically, they created temporary disruptions that allowed the group to move further into safe terrain. By nightfall, they reached a hidden canyon far from the facility. The captives were exhausted but safe. Lyra embraced them, her glow brightening with relief. "Free. For now. Thanks, humans." Elena looked around at her team. They were tired but satisfied. Humanity's ingenuity, bravery, and compassion had made the impossible possible. Dr. Havel smiled. "We did it. We've proven that even against advanced technology, teamwork and clever thinking can overcome great obstacles." Elena nodded. "Yes, but we can't stop here. The enforcers will rebuild, and there are still more who need our help. But tonight we rest. Tomorrow we plan the next step." Lyra turned to Elena. "Humans, strong, brave, hope, can protect." Elena smiled softly. "And together we will. Humanity reaches across the stars not just to explore, but to help, to protect, and to make a difference. You've seen it, Lyra, and now your people have too." As they rested under the twin moons of Celestra, the forest alive with gentle sounds, Elena knew this mission was only part of a larger journey. The enforcers were a threat that could reach beyond one planet, but she also knew that humans with courage, ingenuity, and empathy could stand against even the most advanced enemies. Lyra sat quietly beside Elena, looking up at the stars. "We free, thanks. Humans, hope, strong." Elena placed a hand on her shoulder. "Yes, Lyra, hope is strong, and it grows when we act together." The night was peaceful for the first time in years for the freed Celestrians. But the stars above reminded Elena that the universe was vast and full of challenges. She knew that the next steps would be even more difficult. But she also knew that humanity's greatest strengths, intelligence, courage, and compassion, would guide them through. As they planned their next moves, Elena reflected on everything that had happened. From the first signal to the rescue of the captives, humans had shown what they were capable of, reaching across species and space to make a real difference. The bond formed between humans and Lyra's people was stronger than any technology, stronger than fear, and stronger than oppression. The journey was far from over. The enforcers were powerful, and Celestra still faced danger. But humanity had proven that even in the darkest places, courage, ingenuity, and compassion could shine brighter than any threat. And as long as they worked together, there was no challenge they could not face. The stars above twinkled silently, witnessing the quiet triumph of hope, courage, and unity. And under their light, humans and Celestians alike prepared for the challenges ahead, ready to defend freedom, explore the unknown, and build a future where the bonds of trust and compassion could reach across the galaxy. The twin suns of Celestra rose over the horizon, casting golden light across the forests and oceans. For the first time in years, the planet's inhabitants felt a cautious hope. The Enforcers' machines had been disrupted, key captives freed, and humans had proven themselves allies. But Elena knew that the battle was far from over. The Enforcers would not surrender easily, and their central command still operated from a hidden orbital station above the planet. Elena gathered her team and Lyra at a cliff overlooking the northern plains. The freed Celestians followed cautiously, watching with anticipation. "We've accomplished much," Elena began. "But the Enforcers are powerful, and their orbital station could restore control at any time. We need to disable it before they regroup. This will be our final challenge." Dr. Havel studied her tablet, projecting a detailed map of the orbital station. The station is heavily shielded and protected by automated drones. Direct assault is impossible, but if we can create a precise energy pulse from the planet's surface using Lyra's device enhanced by our technology, we might disrupt the station's systems long enough to disable it. Lyra's eyes glowed with determination. "I guide humans. Use. Pulse. Strong. Break. Control. Free. Forever." Elena nodded. "Then let's do it. Humans and Celestians together, we'll show the Enforcers that hope and courage are stronger than fear and control." The team worked quickly. Using Lyra's knowledge of Celestra's natural energy conduits, they set up a series of amplifiers and relay nodes. Humans and Celestians alike carried components, shielded the equipment, and coordinated every connection. Dr. Havel carefully calibrated the pulse to target the orbital station without harming the planet. As night fell, the stage was set. The orbital station glimmered above like a cold metallic eye. Automated drones patrolled the skies, their searchlights scanning the terrain. Elena's team crouched behind natural cover, ready to act at the exact moment. "Lyra," Elena whispered, "are you ready?" Lyra nodded, her hands resting on the central pulse device. "Yes, and now." "Humans, together." Elena gave the signal. Lyra activated the device. A powerful energy pulse surged through the amplifiers, traveling along the natural conduits and reaching the orbital station. For a moment, the stars themselves seemed to flicker as the station's shields faltered. Red lights blinked across the surface, alarms sounded, and drones froze mid-flight. "It worked," Dr. Havel exclaimed. "The systems are disrupted. They can't react fast enough." Elena seized the opportunity. "Team, move forward. Disable the remaining nodes and prevent any recovery." Humans and Celestians advanced through the northern plains, dismantling satellite control units and guiding the freed inhabitants to safe zones. Lyra directed them, pointing out vulnerable points in the Enforcers' technology. Every pulse, every connection disrupted, weakened the orbital station's control. From above, the Enforcers' drones attempted to respond, but they were too slow. Humanity's ingenuity had found a way to turn the Enforcers' own designs against them. The freed Celestians watched in awe, learning how cooperation and clever thinking could overcome even the most advanced technology. Finally, the orbital station's central systems collapsed. Lights flickered, alarms died, and the massive structure drifted harmlessly above the planet. The Enforcers' control over Celestra was broken. The machines on the surface ceased operation, standing inert like statues. Lyra's glow brightened as she looked at the humans. "We free, truly free. Thanks, humans. Courage, hope." Elena smiled. "No, Lyra, thank you. Your trust, guidance, and knowledge made this possible. Humans and Celestians together, we accomplished what alone we could not." The freed inhabitants cheered, their voices rising in celebration. It was a sound Elena had never expected to hear on this distant world, and yet it filled her with pride. Humanity had reached across the stars, extended a hand of compassion, and changed the fate of an entire species. As the celebrations continued, Elena gathered her team. "We've done something remarkable," she said. "But remember, this is just the beginning. The galaxy is vast, full of dangers and wonders. But this mission shows what humans can do. We face the unknown with courage, we use our intelligence to solve problems, and we act with empathy to help others. Dr. Havel nodded. And we've learned so much from Lyra and her people. Their knowledge of energy, nature, and technology is incredible. Imagine what we can accomplish together in the future. Lyra approached Elena, her small hands glowing softly. Humans, brave, strong, clever, hope, lead, light, future. Elena placed a hand gently on Lyra's shoulder. And you, Lyra, remind us why we fight. For life, for freedom, for hope. Humanity reaches for the stars, not to conquer but to protect and to build. Together we shine brighter than any darkness. That night under the twin moons, humans and Celestrians celebrated around small fires. Stories were shared. Laughter echoed through the forests and bonds were formed that transcended species and worlds. Elena watched the glowing eyes of the freed Celestrians, the determined faces of her team, and the serene smile of Lyra. The universe was vast, unpredictable, and sometimes dangerous, but together, they had shown that courage, intelligence, and empathy could overcome even the greatest challenges. In the days that followed, the humans helped rebuild Celestra's infrastructure. They repaired communication networks, restored energy systems, and ensured that the freed inhabitants had safe shelters. Lyra taught them about her planet's unique technologies, while the humans shared knowledge of their own, creating a partnership built on mutual respect and curiosity. Elena often reflected on the journey. From the first mysterious signal on Virelia 7 to the rescue of the captives, the infiltration of the Enforcer base, and the final disabling of the orbital station, humanity had proven its greatest strengths: ingenuity, courage, and compassion. These were not mere traits, they were tools, as powerful as any technology, capable of shaping the destiny of worlds. Lyra approached her one evening, looking at the twin suns setting over the horizon. Humans, together, protect, hope, strong, forever. Elena nodded. Yes, Lyra, we will continue to protect, to explore, and to help wherever we are needed. Humanity's reach is vast, but our hearts guide us. Compassion, courage, and intelligence, that is what defines us. That is what makes us strong. The alien girl smiled, a soft glow radiating from her being. Humans, worthy hope, light, friends. As night fell, the stars above Celestra sparkled with possibility. Elena knew that the universe held countless mysteries, challenges, and opportunities, but she also knew that humanity, with its courage, ingenuity, and compassion, could face whatever came next. Together, humans and Celestrians would explore, learn, and protect the galaxy. The Enforcers had been defeated, Celestra was free, and hope had been restored. But more importantly, a bond had been forged, between species, across worlds, and between hearts that chose to act with bravery and wisdom. Humanity had shown what it could achieve when it acted not for conquest, but for understanding and protection. Elena looked at the horizon, her mind filled with visions of future adventures. This is only the beginning, she whispered. The universe is vast and there will always be challenges. But humanity will rise to meet them. We will protect, explore, and bring hope to those who need it. That is who we are. That is why we shine. Lyra's glowing eyes reflected the stars. Humans, light, guide, hope, strong, always. And so on the beautiful planet of Celestra, under twin moons and countless stars, humanity had triumphed, not with weapons, but with courage, ingenuity, and compassion. A new chapter had begun, one where humans reached across the galaxy not to dominate, but to help, protect, and inspire. Together, humans and their new allies would continue to explore the stars, bringing light to the darkest corners of the universe. The story ended not with finality, but with promise. The galaxy was wide and full of unknowns, but humanity had proven it could rise above fear, oppression, and danger. And wherever there was hope to be found, humans would be there, brave, clever, and compassionate, lighting the way for all who needed it.